The newest digital card game that's coming to PC first, and then eventually probably mobile in about a month from now, called DC Dual Force, just had their first beta this last weekend, and it was only for content creators, and I was fortunate enough to play in it, so I wanted to take this time to share my thoughts on the game with you guys and tell you all about my experience. This is not sponsored whatsoever. I did get granted an account that had access to all the cards in their animated form, which was pretty dope, but not sponsored to make this video. Gonna give you my honest feedback on the game and if I think that you should play it. Before I give you my opinions, I do just want to give you a little background on me and my experience with card games in general. So I've been playing card games pretty much all my life, and I played probably almost every card game that you could think of, whether it's digital or physical. I've entered multiple regional tournaments. I've even entered a national event as well. I did play Hearthstone for 9.5 years. I had reached #1 in America in that game probably about 20 times. So enough about me. Let's talk about DC Dual Force. So right off the bat, I'm just going to say that the gameplay, the mechanics, the core gameplay of DC Dual Force is really, really good. If you like traditional card games like Hearthstone, like Magic the Gathering, like Legends of Runeterra, or any physical card game really, you will likely enjoy the style of gameplay in this game a lot. You can really tell that they spent a lot of time perfecting the way that the game plays, because it is just so much fun, and there's so many different combinations of cards and leaders that you can put together, and you can make some really cool decks. I only got to play for 15 hours, but I just wanted to keep going, and there was so much I still wanted to try. I barely even scratched the surface. The really cool thing about the game is that you can mix and match these leaders. So you play 40 card decks, and you have to include 20 cards for each leader's class, pretty much. So if I use a red leader, which comes from the Might class, I have to use 20 of those red or Might cards in my deck. Then I can choose for the other leader to go for another red leader and put in 20 more cards from the red faction, or I can go for any other color as well. So I can do 20 blue, 20 red, or 40 red, but either way, you have to do 20 cards from each leader. So it's really cool, the deck building process, and that's one of my favorite parts as a card game player, is building the decks. So yes, the gameplay feels really good, but then the actual look of the game, it looks like you're playing a game from like the 1990s. Could be improved quite a bit. The cards don't really look that great. The artwork it's basically a comic book style, which could be exactly what you want. I'm not sure, but I feel like the animations, the actual look of the cards, it could all be improved. And yes, it is in the beta, so it is going to keep getting improved. But I mean, they've been working on this for about 2 years supposedly, so you would expect a little bit more, but supposedly the budget's not there. But hopefully once they see the appeal, once they see all the interest in the game, that they get some more budgeting and they're able to improve on that. There were quite a few bugs as well. There were times where it was hard to like play cards. Sometimes you would drag a card out, it would play a different card, or if you try to drag a card back to your hand, it actually ends up playing the card. Some animations were bugged, some animations took a while, some cards didn't do what they said, sometimes even cards turned invisible. Definitely a lot of kinks, but I feel like if they actually get it right, if they polish it up quite a bit, the game has a lot of potential. So the game is going to be going into its second beta weekend this next weekend, and it's going to be for everybody that has a beta key. And streamers like myself have been giving out a lot of keys. If you have a key, you have to play between those allotted times this weekend. Now, I am streaming Marvel Snap as my main game. I know that a lot of people that play Marvel Snap are not usually people that have played traditional card games in the past, or like that kind of style of game. So I understand if it's not for everybody, because these games do take about 10 to 20 minutes each. It's more of a commitment than Marvel Snap. Definitely less casual, because there's a lot of cards in the game right off the bat, and you have to learn every single card, and they have a decent amount of text. Not crazy amount of text, but it's a bit of a learning curve. But that's how it is with any new game, especially card games, because you need to learn everything before you can actually be successful in the game. You need to know what to play around, and especially for the deck building, you have to know what kind of cards you're going to have access to. So I do just want to go over one last thing. So one of the main reasons why this game feels so fun also, and I think that a lot of people might enjoy, is that The cards are very strong. There's very powerful things that you can do in this game right out of the gate. And that's not usually the case for a new card game. Usually the power level starts off pretty weak, and then it gets stronger, and then eventually it gets to a point where it's so strong that it kind of gets stupid. So it's a little concerning that the power level of the game is already pretty high, but we are still in the beta, so power level can be adjusted before the release. And I would not be surprised if we see a few things come down in power, probably like the Batman leader in specific. But the game is really fun, and you're probably going to want to get in right at the start, because that's one of the most fun times to play a card game, is right at the beginning. You can see my cat right there knocking over all my stuff, but they've already talked about a draft mode in the game, possibly, and also an in-game tournament mode, which would be really cool, and that's pretty much what you would want out of a digital card game. So it seems like the devs are pretty passionate about it. All the content creators that played in this last beta, we all gave feedback about the game, because I think it seems to be a common consensus that everybody that played in the beta really liked that core gameplay and mechanics. So I think it's got a promising future. I really hope that they take it far and listen to all the feedback and really polish it up for release, because this game really, like, I can't wait to start playing again. I do plan on making some content for this game. I already put out a couple videos with gameplay, but I do want to make some educational content, maybe teach you how to play, break down the keywords and all the mechanics, and yeah, I just really want people to try it out, because I really believe in this game, and I'm excited about the future. So yeah, hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.